This is Dan Aziz coming out of the Cool Box Gym, the future of the light heavyweight division. Big up, sporting icon. Make sure you follow and subscribe.
The WBO welterweight champion Jeff Horn, and of course the lineal champion as well, he has a fight coming up with Terence Crawford. And of course he's been talking about Terence Crawford and how he wants to be proving people wrong, that in fact Terence Crawford is flawed. And he's preparing the right way, in his own words, and he has been sparring the likes of Liam Paro, Cameron Hammond, Paul Fleming, Dennis Hogan and Nathan Weber. Now he was specifically talking about Liam Paro, and this is what Jeff Horn had to say. Liam's a really slick boxer, very clever. He's an awkward southpaw, and Crawford fights a lot from a southpaw stance, so I'm preparing against both left-handed and right-handed fighters. Crawford is a very good boxer, obviously, but I think there are a lot of fighters with similar speed and talent to him, so I'm certainly not overawed. It would be good to prove the critics wrong, just like I did against Manny Pacquiao. Jeff Horn's statement, so he seems very, very confident. Now, is this fight is April the 14th, I believe it is, isn't it? Anyway, yes, he did prove a lot of critics wrong when he beat Manny Pacquiao. People say, well, he roughed him up, he was using some MMA tactics, all this kind of thing. But either way, you know what, he got away with it and he got the win. He's now champion, and of course he has had a successful defense as well over in Brisbane against Gary Corcoran. And this fight, I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be, but it's going to be in the US, I know that much. And obviously it's going to be a top rank one. Now, a lot of people are, oh sorry, let me backtrack a second. Jeff Horn, when he beat Manny Pacquiao, become the champion, what did everybody say? All the Terence Crawford fans, all the Errol Spence fans were saying Jeff Horn is food for everybody. Jeff Horn is garbage. Jeff Horn is this. Jeff Horn is that. He's not fit enough. He's not good enough to lace the boots of Errol Spence and this, that and the other. Now suddenly Terence Crawford is in line to face him next. And what's going to happen is, if Terence Crawford was to win, I don't want to hear nobody saying how Terence Crawford is TBE, Terence Crawford is this, that and the other, because he's now the welterweight champion who, in your own words, beat a guy who's food. So he gets no credit for beating Jeff Horn. Now, can Jeff Horn beat Terence Crawford? Absolutely. Absolutely he can. And I am picking him to win. And I believe he will rough him up. I think the best way for Terence Crawford to win is to literally use his boxing skills and stay on the outside. If he gets on the inside, Jeff Horn will rough him up. But of course, the referee, could he be in the pocket of Crawford to be specifically looking out for this? Would Bob Arum, would he want Terence Crawford to be the champion, or would he want Jeff Horn? He'd probably choose Crawford, to be fair, as he only promotes Jeff Horn in the US. He doesn't promote him over in Australia. So yes, he's certainly going to be wanting Terence Crawford to win, and then obviously go on and, who knows, try and somehow unify against Errol Spence or Keith Thurman. But of course, with the whole Showtime and ESPN Top Rank and this, that and the other, there's all like these boxing conflicts going on where fights can't necessarily be made unless it's a huge mega event where both sides set to benefit very, very well. But Terence Crawford, yes, he's the former undisputed 140 champion, and yes, he has moved up now to 147. Now for me, Terence Crawford, he's a very, very skilled fighter, very, very good, no doubt about it, and 147 will be a baptism of fire for him. Now at 140, you know, let's keep it real. See, a lot of people say turn the truth, he's like hating, but it's not. You know, it's telling the truth. Where Terence Crawford, he was undisputed at a very, very weak division of 140. Yes, he beat a couple of good guys, of course he did. But for me, it would have been great had he even had the likes of Adrian Broner on his resume. I mean, his last guy, Julius Indongo, I'm sorry, man, but he weren't that good. He really, really wasn't. And everybody knew that Terence Crawford was going to win. And he came into that ring to lie down, is what he done. But either way, Terence Crawford, he did what nobody else in any of the other divisions has done right now, or have done it in a long, long time, which has become undisputed. So full props to him for that one anyway. And of course, yes, he can't help the guys that he's fighting around his weight division. You know, they are what they are, but facts are, it's a weak division, or it was a weak division. Now, against Jeff Horn is going to rough him up. Jeff Horn is going to probably go in there and attack him. He really, really is. Terence Crawford, he's going to have to brawl in this one. Now, Terence Crawford can do that. He does have what people will say, he's got a dog in him. So, no, it certainly wouldn't surprise me for Terence Crawford to rough up Jeff Horn himself, to use some illegal tactics, if you like. But, of course, for me, I believe, and I do worry that the referee is going to allow Terence Crawford to get away with it, but not Jeff Horn. But, of course, hopefully it's going to be a fair fight. A lot of people see Jeff Horn as a dirty fighter. Listen, man, he did that against Manny Pacquiao. Against Corcoran, he didn't. He beat him fair and square. So, against Terence Crawford, we're really going to have to wait and see. Is 147 a step up too far for Crawford? Who knows? Who really knows? But for me, if Terence Crawford does win, then all his fanboys need to be getting on to Errol Spence's back and making Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight each other next, is what they need to be doing. And for right now, leave Keith Thurman alone. Keith Thurman is a unified champion. Errol Spence is not. Terence Crawford will not be. So, anyway. That's what Jeff Horn's gone on about right now. He's saying that Terence Crawford, while he's a good fighter, is not going to bring anything that he hasn't seen and he's not preparing for. So, he's very, very confident of beating Terence Crawford. And remember, guys, when Jeff Horn beats Terence Crawford, or if he beats Terence Crawford, remember, I know you don't like him because his name isn't Errol Spence, but give him props. If he beats Terence Crawford, make sure you give him props. I don't want to be hearing no more Rigondeaux excuses. Even though you guys wanted Rigondeaux to move up and face Lomachenko because Lomachenko was ducking him, okay, they met, and Lomachenko beat the living stuffing out of him, made him quit. If this happens with Terence Crawford, I don't be hearing no damn excuses. Now, I know a lot of guys, they have like this vision of these champions from each weight class. And the likes of Jeff Horn don't fit into that category. Well, okay. That's how you started off 2018. You've already fell with Rigondeaux. You're going to fall with Deontay Wilder, potentially March 3rd. You could potentially fall against Jeff Horn here. So, anyway, that's what's going on. Drop your thoughts below. Click that thumbs up. Subscribe. Catch you next video.